That last bit was not too hard an act to follow. I suspect that there are many here today, just like me, Conservative at heart, but feeling let down over Europe. I know that I'm not alone in that awkward position, because when I donated money to UKIP, many people got in touch with me and expressed support for my actions, and almost all of them were die-hard Tories. And what was the straw that broke the camel's back? 2 words: Ken and Clarke. It is 2 words of another Tory politician that I want to examine this morning, William Hague. Last Saturday, the Daily Telegraph carried an interview with William Hague. Nothing could have illustrated better why I shall vote UKIP in the Euro elections. There was in his interview absolutely no commitment to anything. Let's look at it. If there is a referendum on the Lisbon Treaty, will Ken Clarke vote no? William Hague says that he expects, mark you, that he will. Well, what kind of language is that? Why doesn't William Hague know how Clarke will vote? Did he and David Cameron not ask that simple and obvious question before they appointed him to the shadow cabinet? Ken Clarke himself was quite specific on the subject as a backbencher. Calls for a referendum are absurd. Take another point. The Conservatives should make it absolutely clear that if elected, they will immediately call a referendum on Lisbon. But William Hague indicates that the Conservatives are likely to attempt special treaty, possibly by calling a retrospective referendum. Heavens above, the Pope has indicated that he's likely to possibly be a Catholic. The Tories want to sound tough without making the slightest commitment. The leadership is terrified that a tough stance will split the party. But who would be the Europhile side of this split? Just 2 big beasts, Clarke and Heseltine, and 1 or 2 smaller beasts. Now, the party, that's the Conservative Party, has shown quite rightly that it's not afraid of big donors by expelling me. It should not be afraid of big beasts either. By the way, it is only the leadership that is so timid. A backbench Tory MP came up to me and begged me to go on doing what I was doing. 80% of our MPs, he said, are behind me. And the polls are perfectly clear about the voters as well as the MPs. They were recently asked by the pollsters, YouGov, which of 10 things they would most like to see done. And I believe this is very significant. Top, reduce immigration. Second, reduce the powers of the EU and increase the powers of Britain's Parliament. Now, way down below came a lot of things you might well have expected if the public didn't care about the EU to be way above that. Way down below were reduce taxes, deal with climate change, scrap IVs, etc. All below the 2 I've mentioned. Just listen to the voters, David and William. They do care about Europe. They care a lot. And they want clear commitments, not a cowardly connection of weasel words.
Hear, hear.
People have asked me, since my donation, why I didn't stay within the Conservative Party and use, as they put it, my influence. Well, at one time, I did have some influence. I might almost say that I was subject to a kind of charm offensive. Would I like to have lunch with Shadow Minister X? Would I like to pop in and see Shadow Minister Y for discussion? Would I like to go and see William Hague and talk to him about Europe? Now, the reason, of course, was nothing to do with the merits of my views. It was to make me unlikely to say something awkward for the Conservatives, or, God forbid, to support UKIP. I cannot resist one final point about William Hague's interview. He asks for a protest vote. Well, voting Tory would not be a protest vote, would it? He must mean voting UKIP. Obviously, William Hague too will shortly be expelled. Welcome to the club, William.